Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here, Wilson Tarpe Jr. For Washington, this is the first of two games this week against Orlando in Orlando. They have another opportunity on Friday. Tonight they fell to Orlando 139-120. We told you guys after the win against the Pistons that Orlando's one of the hotter teams in the league. This was their 8th consecutive win. They have been extremely hot as of late. Ray, we were giving them credit against the Pistons for only having one quarter in which they surrendered 30. Tonight, gave up 30 in every single quarter of this game. It's not like they were horrible on offense, but when there's no resistance to the other side, even a decent offensive night just goes to waste. The whole issue with the glass. What's your thoughts?
You pretty much kind of started where I was going to start. Yeah, man, you let a team shoot 60 from the field, 63 from three, and 20 or 24 from the line. That's pretty much ball game. It's it's not much you can do with that. You were talking before we got on. They held Paolo in check, which I'm pretty sure was mission number one. But when you fail mission 2 through 7, you're kind of working against yourself. So yeah, they were trying to win a firefight for much of the game, and they're just not talented enough to do that. Like, they gotta play sound basketball and check off as many boxes as they can. Some teams can get away with that. They have the horses to kind of nullify some mistakes. We always talk about the slim margin of error for this team, and it's very slim, and they weren't able to overcome it tonight. And that's what you get. And again, like you said, man, the Magic, they're one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They're surging, and they're not even whole. But at the same time, you got to come in and you gotta fight. And just didn't see it tonight. Yeah, man. Denny played well. Kuz played well. Jordan Poole played well, but they play well on one side of the basketball. There was a few spots where where they tried to make things happen. They forced 18 turnovers. So they were getting after it in some aspects, but it was a lot of overhelping when folks drove, which led to a lot of open threes. You got to be more disciplined in that. I appreciate the sentiment, but you gotta stick to the basics and make more heady decisions. Just because somebody's heading to the lane, that doesn't mean everybody just collapses, because that's a kick out and a wide open shot. And the Magic weren't missing anything tonight. So yeah, that's pretty much where they lost. Just not being disciplined. And again, we talk about the glass a lot. They lost that battle handily tonight. And you talked about it going into this game. The Magic is another big team, and we always talk about the Wizards' lack of size on the defensive interior. So yeah, man, sometimes 2+2 is 4, and that's pretty much what we saw tonight. Hopefully, Denny's okay. We saw the injury, and he didn't return. So and that sucks because he was playing really well, and him going out kind of coincided with things like really falling off the rails for them. Given how he was playing and attacking. So yeah, hopefully it's nothing serious. We'll see him back on Friday, but yeah, man, they just got overwhelmed by a much better team tonight. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
Yeah, and you talk about boxes to check off. Like, just for example, their bench gave them 44 points tonight. That's a good night for most benches. However, Orlando's bench gave them 65 points tonight. 65 freaking points from your second unit is crazy. And some of that's inflated for Washington with some of that group that always comes in late and plays really hard to kind of shave up the difference, or to shave down the difference at times. But yeah, it was just no resistance, man. That's it. And like you said, do hope that Denny's injury isn't anything serious at all. And losing him in a game like this, where Franz is what 6'9", 6'10" at the 2 or 3, something like that. Palos 6'11". Jonathan Isaac didn't play. He's another, like, that's all they have over there. Is just 6'9" and up. Losing Denny in a game like this stunk because he's one of the few guys you have of that size, not named Kuz. Put the ball on the floor and attack and create some trouble. And he went down, but it was just too easy. They shot 60 freaking percent. 60, 63, and they were bad at the line. That's the place where they let themselves down. They missed 4 free throws. That's it. And even with the second chance, like, they turned the ball over and didn't even truly pay for it because they were getting that much, on that first possession. They didn't need 2 times. Honestly, that's what it looked like at some points tonight. It's one of those things that started like last year with the scheduling, where it's kind of like, it's like the baseball style thing where you play the same team twice, in a matter of days. So we'll see how Washington responds. But it was just a tough one tonight, man. Nobody on Orlando felt anybody on Washington for much of the night, and I think you just said it. You wrapped everything up perfectly. Just with that, man, like, they were 11 and 29 from 3. You shot 38% from 3. That's not bad. But if the other team shoots 63 from 3, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's oh man, like, yeah, that's tough. Look, man, my favorite part of the show. We have to put this up on the screen. Could we just say 1, 2, 3 friends? Is that fine?
Perfect.
Okay. Here, some room you have to wiggle, some wiggle room, if you will. X Factor.
Sheesh, take your pick, man. I'm gonna go Cole Anthony. Um, yeah, he was just like super aggressive, and that made that allowed Orlando to just kind of keep out in front by a comfortable margin. Like, I remember one play he got in, went to the hole, missed the layup, and he basically like fell out of bounds, but he was able to get back in, get his own offensive rebound, and put it back. At that point, I was like, yeah, man, it's truly a wrap at this point. I think it was maybe mid third quarter. The Wizards were trying to keep pace, but yeah, at that point, Orlando was just looking to get this thing over with. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Cole.
Yeah, I'm agree wholeheartedly. He came into this season, he's really stepped up off the bench in terms of being a little bit more consistent. Came into this game averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, almost 4 assists, right? Tonight, 25.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks. Also, 9 and 16 from the floor, 3 and 5 from deep. So he not only matched his output, his typical output, like, he surpassed it. And even just in different spots, you're talking about that. I remember that moment you talked about in the third. It just felt like at random times he was the guy. If Washington got something going, he was the guy answering it.
Mm-hmm.
At times, if Franz wasn't in, here comes Cole. Just sometimes, honestly, how many times he get to the line tonight? 5 times. Just at times, just getting downhill, which Orlando's guards seem to do at will this evening. Just over and over and over. But again, we're going to get to some of you guys' comments. 139, 120, 8 in a row for Orlando. And Washington gets another crack at Orlando in the same building on Friday. All right, let's get to these comments. Second, keep the score on the screen. Not that you guys care about the score once you guys get to your comments. PXPX said, failures in defense, or rather no defense. Wagner did everything he wanted easily without any resistance. The only bright spot is an excellent game by Denny.
It's pretty self-explanatory. Like we said, 60% from the field, 63% from three. That's those shoot-around numbers. You're not going to beat anybody if you allow them to be that efficient.
63 from three is what I'm stuck on. I'm not getting past that. Like even what was it, Caleb who stand late in the game, knocking them corner threes down, contested at times, man. But again, when you let folks get in a rhythm, it's professional basketball players, man. They're not going to just get jarred out of rhythm without any type of force. Area 11T, of course, the only bright spot tonight gets hurt. Hopefully he's okay. Franz was just on one tonight. Yeah, Franz realized quite early no one was going to offer any resistance, and Franz just kept going. Like Ray said, they got to Paolo, and then 2 through 7, the world is yours, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, and company, apparently. Michael Kirksey never wanted to shy away from words. Followed that up with what's new. Area 11 sees that Denny's efficiency has been crazy at times this year. He can still get better, which is scary.
Yeah, Denny's been pretty solid this year, man. We're not seeing like the last couple of years. The main thing is just being him being in his own way. Haven't really seen that a lot this year. He's kind of just been playing. I think Cardell pointed out a little early in the season that it's a little easier to be free when you got that financial situation squared away. So yeah, I'm sure he's he's just playing a little more loose this season.
For sure, and shout out to him for getting that security, and then like the team's getting an immediate return on it versus getting that security and the team not getting a return on it. Like he's been everything people have been waiting for a while. Like the things people want him to do consistently, he's done that this year thus far since getting paid. And shout out to him. Hopefully we continue to get to see him grow. Tonight's a great reason as to why I kept hoping we could somehow make a trade for Suggs. And I know we don't have great trade pieces. Yeah.
So my thing about this is, people want, Suggs has been brought up a lot to bring here. Guys like Jaden Ivey. The thing about that is they're going to be asked here to do way more than they're doing on their current team. So I'm not saying the results going to be the same, but it's going to be a Jordan Poole situation. Like that's trading for those type of guys aren't going to save this team. Like no disrespect to Suggs or Avi or whoever else has been brought up, but they don't move the needle in a way that the Wizards need a player to move the needle. If you're going to be talking about bringing somebody in, I like Suggs. I like Suggs a lot. I liked him when he was coming out of college, but yeah, this team needs more than that. I'll just leave it there.
And to your point, and shout out to Suggs for the job he's done this year, and especially since Markelle went down, but he's playing right now because Markelle went down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a knock on him, just being honest. Like, and keep that in mind. Markelle's in and out the lineup due to injuries. However, whenever he gets back, his job is his job, and this is not an indictment on Suggs or Cole, but every time he comes back, like there's one point guard on that team until they just drafted Anthony Black. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one floor general. That's it. And even Anthony Black has the luxury of having some size where he could play off ball. So it's a little bit easier for him to get some minutes. The rest of those guys, they're smaller than Kel. Suggs about the same size, but you know what I'm saying? That was a great point you brought up. Like, they would be asked to do a tad bit more. Like, we're seeing them in a specific role. Like, even with Jaden Ivey, like, no matter what you do over there, that's Cade's show. Like, I'm sure they would love you to be able to, where it could be either or, but that's not what that is right now. Like, right now it's Kate. And there's nothing wrong with that. Cole for X Factor, we agreed as well. Had Jalen Suggs for X Factor, which I cannot argue.
Yeah, I mean, a few guys had a case.
So there were no wrong answers if you picked the Orlando Magic player for an X Factor, for the most part. Unless you said Paolo, then could have picked Paolo. Could have picked Mo Wagner. He was productive. Former Wizard Mo. Like, does it? You had a lot of wiggle room there. Or Suggs, yes. We need to take some notes on Orlando's rebuild. But they just been bad. Like, they just been bad. Like, I don't even know if I want to give them credit for what they accidentally did. Like, they just been bad. And then you have Philly tweaking and just shit Markel to them for just cause. Like, they just been bad. And then you get Paolo. Like, almost every time Orlando's kind of like, their rebuilds are always like happenstance. Or some serendipitous turn of events happen, and boom, you get the number 1 pick, which I give them credit for. When they get the number 1 pick, Orlando doesn't miss. I give them credit for that. They miss on a lot of other stuff. But when they get the first overall pick, they batting 1,000. They don't miss.
What is it? Shaq, Dwight, and Paolo?
Bruh. They do a lot of stuff where you're like, I get why you're Orlando. However, I got to give them credit. When they get the first overall pick, they knocked that thing out the park. I want us to draft Suggs. We wouldn't need him to be a superstar just to play the way he is right now. He can run an offense, just let the point forwards do their thing. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't know. I don't know if he can run an offense because, like, ideally for me, the only people in Orlando that can initiate the offense that are guards, Kel. And maybe I low-key trust Anthony Black to do that more than I trust Suggs and Cole. Like, I think that's the issue with Suggs and Cole. Like, they're weird size combo guards. Where Kel and Anthony Black are just weird size point guards. Kel's built freakishly long and Anthony Black 6'7". Like, you're not supposed to be 6'7", playing at 1. But those are like floor generals to me. I again, like, who knows? Like, right now, like, this group's looking up at that group. So who knows? Like I said, I think one of the things we'll see is the season goes on, we'll see if this is the group for the entire year or if changes are made. We don't know what's going to happen, especially with other teams. Because, like, how many times do we see OKC make those trades where we got it? Oh, we'll take some expirings here. Give us some picks. Like, those are the things that sometimes do help jumpstart a rebuild real quick. You just never know. But yeah, Orlando, it's hard for me to give them credit for doing anything on purpose. I can't argue with you right there, so I'm gonna fall back on that right there. That's one thing all the Orlando guards are more than willing to do, though. All of them. Like, so I mean, I cannot fight you on that point, man. But we appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all on Friday night. Hopefully they have a better showing. The scary part coming from tonight is all this happened and you had a trash game from Paolo. Can you get Paolo to have 2 trash games? Are you going to be able to turn Franz's water off while keeping Paolo under? Again, going back to that end of the floor that we keep talking about, it matters. But y'all have a great one. Ray, you have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm good, man.
All right, we'll see y'all on